Before I begin, I want to acknowledge two individuals. Daniel Poliziani Jr., along with his companion, Maggie Hanrahan, who traveled a great distance to be here with us this evening. They're sitting right over here. Welcome to the Waterford, Daniel and Maggie. Sitting with Dan and Maggie is the gentleman who you'll meet as my presentation proceeds. Some of you may be aware that I write a monthly sports column for the Chronicle Herald newspaper. My principal focus has been on Cape Breton athletes and teams from years gone by. Obviously, for anyone to successfully carry out such a task, it helps to know plenty about our sports teams and players of the past. It may sound like a boast, but if pressed, I thought I could easily pass that test, particularly when it comes to old-time NHLers from our island. However, I missed the boat on the gentleman I'm introducing this evening. For the longest time, I assumed, as many others have, that the first and only Waterford-born NHLer is a chap by the name of Trevor Fahey, who played for the New York Rangers in 1964-65. However, a couple of years ago, a local sports-minded individual by the name of Ronnie McDonald, who happens to be our Hall of Fame committee, sitting right here, clued me in on Dan Poliziani, a gentleman with NHL credentials who might also be a native son of our town, and not Sydney or Hamilton, Ontario, as various hockey references state. Ronnie suggested that I investigate further, which I did. Consequently, I lost my spot here for a second. Consequently, with assistance from Daniel Poliziani Jr., who has spent his entire life in hockey as both a player and coach, I contacted his father, Dan Sr., and sure enough, he told me that he was indeed born in Waterford. Dan, by the way, played 4 games, 1 regular season, and 3 playoff contests for the 1958-59 Boston Bruins, meaning his big league debut came 6 years prior to Trevor Fahey's, thus making him Waterford's first NHLer. Dan was born in Waterford on January 8, 1935, and lived the first 7 years of his life in Waterford. He attended both St. Agnes School and St. Agnes Church. His parents, Santo and Eurosia, had earlier emigrated from Italy, and the family resided on the corner of Mahan Street and Thomas Avenue. While Santo worked in the coal mines, Eurosia operated a grocery store from home. There were also cabins on the property that Santo rented to coal miners that arrived here from various countries and used as living quarters. In 1942, at the very young age of 42, Santo died of tuberculosis. Therefore, Eurosia, with 5 sons and 2 daughters in tow, opted to relocate the family to Hamilton, Ontario. Dan told me, and I quote, "My mother didn't want any of us ending up working in the coal mine, so we left. The store was bought by a guy by the name of Metz, and he bought the cabins as well." Santo Poliziani, by the way, is buried in St. Agnes Cemetery. Interestingly, another of the Poliziani brothers played professional sports as well. Miko, born in Waterford in 1937, was a member of the Canadian Football League's Montreal Alouettes from 1960 until 1963. It's highly probable that he is the lone CFLer to come out of our town. At age 14, Dan played junior B hockey, and in 1952 he graduated to the OHA St. Catharines Teepees, coached by Rudy Pillis, who was later the bench boss of the 1960-61 Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks. He was a great coach, said Poliziani. The following campaign, 1953-54, Dan was traded in mid-season to the Barrie Flyers, and wouldn't you know it, his former team, the Teepees, went on to win the Memorial Cup. Nevertheless, Poliziani said getting dealt to Barrie was the best thing that ever happened to him. Hap Ends, a hockey pioneer and legend, was the coach in Barrie, he said, and he took me under his wing pretty good. I was a smart alecky kid and he toned me down. I think he made me what I was. In 1955-56, Poliziani suited up for the Quebec Aces of the Quebec Hockey League, and his good luck with coaches continued. His mentor that season was the legendary Punch Imlach. He was the greatest, said Dan of Imlach. I'm in his book. And he talks about the tough little Italian kid who could skate like the wind. That was my forte, that I could skate like hell. Poliziani played 10 full seasons as a professional. Aside from a stint with the Bruins and one campaign as a member of the Quebec Aces, he spent 9 seasons in the American Hockey League. Of course, back then, there were only 6 NHL clubs, thus big league jobs were scarce. Consequently, the caliber of play at the NHL level was very high. Poliziani's first AHL season was the 1956-57 with the Cleveland Barons, and he finished a close second in the league's Rookie of the Year race, losing by just 1 vote to teammate Boris Elick, who Dan described as a rookie, but he was 26 years old. I was just turning 20. Cleveland won the Calder Cup that season, and the team's goaltender was Johnny Bauer, who would later backstop the Toronto Maple Leafs to 4 Stanley Cups. Bauer was my buddy, said Dan. In fact, my wife and I lived in the same building as Johnny and his wife, and we used to babysit his first son, Johnny Jr. In 1958-59, after 3 years in Cleveland, Dan was claimed in the NHL's interleague draft by the Boston Bruins and was assigned to the Farm Club, the AHL's Providence Reds. Before long, he was called up to the big club. I was with Boston for 3 games, Dan said. I never played in 2 of them. I just sat on the bench. When I finally got my chance against Toronto, I was on a line with Fleming McKell and Don McKinney. I played well enough. I hit 2 posts, but I just didn't get lucky. If I had scored, for Christ's sake, I would have stayed with the Bruins for 10 years. After 4 seasons with Providence, Dan was traded in 1963-64 to the Hershey Bears in exchange for Willie Marshall, the most prolific point producer and goal scorer in AHL history. He was traded 1-for-1. That was a 1-for-1 deal, by the way. Following 2 years with Hershey, nagging injuries led to Dan's retirement from the game, and he knew exactly what he was going to do next. I was 30 years old when I retired from hockey in 1965, and I had 5 racehorses. He then had a Crowley. I recently celebrated my 50th year of training horses. Now living in Conesus Lake, New York, 25 miles south of Rochester, Dan is a thoroughbred racehorse trainer at Finger Lakes Racetrack in Farmington, New York. Over the past 5 years, he has had the Horse of the Year in this category 3 times. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the New Waterford Hall of Fame Committee, I welcome New Waterford's first NHLer, Dan Poliziani, back home.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. I look at all you lovely people here and I can't believe what I'm seeing. God, it's a full house. To come and see us guys, and you're honoring us, we should be honoring you. I love playing hockey, I really did. And I hated to lose. And they made me be like a kind of a tough guy. I was a little bigger then. I had a little dose of cancer and stuff like that and lost some weight, but playing hockey, I loved to play the game and I played it tough. And I hated to lose, so I stayed there for 10 years. It was tough to stay there with 6-6. But anyway, I stayed there. I enjoyed it. And here I am. I'm being honored by you guys. This is great. This is really terrific. I was very, very lucky. I had John and his dad, Simon, and Mr. McDonald take us around this morning and took me to where I was born. And I walked in there. It's great. I just want to thank all you guys, because I should be here honoring you guys. You don't know what it's like. You can be a professional hockey player and people look at you like you're somebody. We're just lucky guys, that's all. God just gave us a gift and we did the best we could. And I want to thank all of you, all of the heads here. Thank you very much. God bless you, because I'm real happy. Thank you.
Well done. Now I'll ask presenter, committee member Doug McSween.